everyone, my name is DeLadysigner and welcome back to another Eco Island Park episode, where in the previous episode we built this cool coastal habitat with huge underwater viewing for the adorable African penguin. And in this episode we are going to add the only extinct animal we had in the game, but is since this week actually not extinct in the wild anymore. We are talking about the Scimitar Horned Oryx. We're going to create a mixed enclosure for them together with the critically endangered Dama Gazelle, and next to that we will be building a nice habitat for the critically endangered Saiga that we recently got with the new Eurasia Animal Pack. So an exciting episode ahead of us. Make sure to leave a like at this video if you enjoyed this series and leave some nice feedback in the comments down below. But quickly before we jump into it, if you are interested in the Eurasia Animal Pack or any other Planet Zoo pack or any other game, I highly recommend you to check out the sponsor of our channel, Instant Gaming, because via their website you can get a great discount on the new pack and all other Planet Zoo packs, and by buying via their website you will get a great discount and you will also be supporting the channel. You can find a link to their website in the description of this video and in the pinned message of the comment section, so you can easily find it. So let's first quickly check our penguins right over here, because you are playing here with a disco ball. I love that animation so much. It's so adorable. But look at these two sitting here on their nests. Oh, this is so amazing. I wonder if we already have pregnant penguins. I actually doubt that, but they all are doing very well, so I think it's just a matter of time. Just look at them all here. Oh, this one also. Oh, I love it that they're just so close to each other, really making this group or herd. Oh, that's great. Oh, there is an animal talk starting right over here. Wait, where are you? Oh, there you are. I didn't see you for a second. So are you doing the penguin talk? Yes, you are. Roaming talk about the penguins. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much, Hunter. Love it that you just did that for all these guests right over here. All right. Okay, we said goodbye to a few animals, so we do need to add some signs here in our wildlife release plaza. So I added all these cute pictures here. This is a little Ning, the baby boy that we recently released. And then here we have this adorable picture of Checkers. Doesn't he look so cute and funny here? Oh my gosh, I will miss him so much. And then right over here we have Vulcan. I captured this picture when he was playing with the tail of his mom, and oh my, he was such a beautiful and adorable Amur leopard. These guys will definitely be missed, but obviously they will have hopefully a great life into the wild. So this is definitely a dedication to all these amazing animals. But we are not going to keep these signs here, guys. We will be building a wildlife release plaza at some point, so don't worry about that. And now that we're here, I'm super happy to introduce to you guys Lilo, which is a baby girl, and the name was thought by you guys, a combination of Milo and Lumi. So Lilo it is, and I just love it because that is going to be the reference to the parents when they are gone, and we are going to continue breeding with this lovely baby girl right over here. This is just so amazing. And some other incredible news is that Lucky is pregnant again. So very soon we will be able to see another baby horse in our zoo, which is going to be so exciting. When will it happen exactly? Year 52? Oh my goodness, that is gonna take forever. We're only in year 47, but hey, we are getting more offspring in this habitat, which is just amazing. So in quarantine waiting right now, and also who do we have here? Charlie waiting now for quarantine because we have so many animals. There are actually more animals in here than we have space for it. So we have the Saiga, we have the Dama Gazelle, and we have the Scimitar Horned Oryx all waiting here in quarantine. I'm going to put these guys right back into the training center so we have some space here for Charlie to bring in the last animal. Oh, these guys are also ready, so they can also go to the training center back already. But these guys, this one is infected, this one is injured, that one was injured and now under quarantine. Been taken with the vet to the vet here to cure those injuries. Oh, look. Hi. Oh, you're gonna have such a happy home soon in our zoo. That's going to be so freaking amazing. Oh man, you know what? Let's go and start working on their habitat because these guys deserve nothing more than a really great habitat instead of waiting in quarantine or in the training center. So without further talking, let's go and start building a habitat which will be located right over here. I'm not entirely sure how much space we actually need. It's going to be probably quite a big area. So let's start working on it. So we're going to start laying out the fences of the habitat to get an idea for the size of the habitat and where it will be located. We are creating a bigger habitat on the right side, which will be for the Scimitar Horned Oryx and the Dama Gazelle, as these two animals are both from Africa and they do have an enrichment bonus. And then connected to this habitat will be a bit smaller habitat that will be for the Saiga, which is an Asian animal. Now, since all animals do live in a more desert and grassland biome, we are able to fill up the area with plants they pretty much both like. So even though this will be two separate habitats, they will still pretty much feel as one because the plants we will be using and the shelter building we will create for these animals will all be the same. Now I want to make sure that both habitats do have somewhat of a natural water source in them, so we are going to dig some holes here and there, which we will later decorate with some nice rock formations and such. But first we will focus on the shelter building. As these animals are all hoofed animals, I want to go for a more simple shelter building that isn't closed on the sides. Since we are in a tropical biome here for animals that like a grasslands and a desert climate, I don't really think these guys really need more than a building where they can hide a bit from the sun if they want to, if it really gets too hot. And since their habitats are connected, we are going to take advantage of that by making a shared shelter building. So one side will be for the Scimitar Horned Oryx and the Dama Gazelle, and the other side for the Saiga. So even though these animals don't really know each other from the countries that they live in, they will get a glimpse of each other this way, which I'm sure will be fine. And to create the building, we are obviously using mostly the conservation beams again to stay a little bit more in the eco-friendly vibe. And we will be doing the same for the fencing all the way around the habitat. Now, connecting the path to the big tropical house building was a little bit challenging as I still want to make it like a good looking connection. So that's why I chose for a double layer of path here, as it just didn't feel right to connect the path coming from the tropical house straight away with the path that will go around the habitat for these animals. So having this double layer of path will obviously also help with any bottlenecks in the future of like people passing and people looking into the habitat basically. And I am very happy we are adding a habitat on this side of the island now, by the way. Like, I know I said I wanted to finish one half of the island first, but clearly I don't have that much fitting space on the other side of the island. So it is what it is, and we are now adding animals on this side of the island as well, which is also going to attract more visitors via the tropical house to this area, especially as long as we don't have any other path connection coming from the zoo entrance. So talking about the entrance, I'm actually super excited to start working on that area as well now, since we have the souvenir shops. I think it's going to look so cool to have several gift shops there, and then with the idea that half of what people spend there will be donated to the zoo for like more eco-friendly solutions and to support wildlife conservation. I just really love that idea. But anyways, we're not working on that right now. So back to what we're working on here. So then it was time to start working on some detailing of the habitat, and as I said, this will be a more desert aka grassland themed habitat, so we're not gonna go too crazy with big rocks and stuff apart from the edges of the water area. I do feel like we should make that all look super nice and pretty, and we're going to use the blackthorn bush in this habitat a lot more together with like the African grass, because I do like it that this side of the island will look a little bit different than the other side of the island, which is a lot more green, lush, and tropical. So I first started with some more natural looking water though, but in the end, I did like the idea more having it more brownish, fitting the desert and sandy theme here. So I changed it to the dirty watercolor in the end, and I think it looks so much better. And we're also not using the tropical rocks here that much. If I remember correctly, the rocks we are using mostly here are the temperate colored rocks, as I do really like how they blend in more with the sand in this case, in this habitat. Also on the edges of the path, I decided to not go for the same small aquatic rocks for a change. Like I wanted to go back to basic here a little bit, as I like to call it. Like before we got the aquatic rocks, we pretty much always use these rocks for the edges of your path and stuff. So by blending some different colored rocks, we get a nice variation of color here to make everything look a little bit more interesting and different for a change. Now at this point, I wasn't entirely sure yet how I wanted the edge of the island to look like in between the sea and the habitat. Am I going for a more tropical vibe here then, or a more sandy beach? So I tried to play around a little bit with the trees we also used on the other side of the island, but in the end, I really went for a more sandy beach vibe because, I don't know, it just feels a lot better having this more desert sandy themed habitat as well. So I used a few of the fern trees and some coastal pig plants and such. Now I also will be adding a path here at some point. I'm not entirely sure if we'll keep it there, but since we now have these mill paths, and for some reason I just really like the idea that guests will walk over the beach on the other side of the habitat. So I decided to keep it in there. We won't be adding any benches or bins there to make it too obvious, or at least not as long as we don't have to. If guests will be complaining about being tired or that there will be so much litter, I might change my mind. But let's just see this more as an off-road viewing gallery or something that wasn't really officially intended to be there, but guests just used that or something like that. You know what I mean? So we will also be using a few aquatic rocks here and there and some ponytail palm trees, but we won't go too crazy with the foliage here on the beach. And then the last thing we're going to do are filling up some areas in between the tropical house and the habitat, because I felt like leaving it open right now would feel very boring and plain. So I did already want to bring back a little bit of the tropical vibe here, also paying a little bit more attention to the view when you walk out of the tropical house, that you can still see the sea level and stuff. So while we finish the habitat and the surroundings here, I would love to tell you guys a little bit about the animals we're going to add in this habitat, or in these habitats I should say. So the Scimitar Horned Oryx went extinct in the year 2000 due to overhunting and habitat loss, both natural and man-made. As of right now, they can only be found in reintroduced populations in managed nature reserves and national parks in North Africa. So since the Scimitar Horned was extinct in the wild, but is now, since this week, classified as endangered, which is just super amazing. But we obviously did not save them from the wild before they arrived at our Eagle Island Park. So we got a male oryx from a breeding program in a zoo in the Netherlands, and the two females came from zoos in Germany and Spain. Now, the Dama Gazelle, which will be sharing their habitat with the Scimitar Horned Oryx, is a critically endangered species with only 100 to 200 left in the wild. While the species is adapted to the desert, needing less water than other animals, they, unlike many other desert species, do require a bit more water to survive. So due to climate change, it's becoming increasingly challenging for them to survive. And the Dama Gazelle is also at risk due to hunting, poaching, and habitat loss. So a group of wildlife experts discovered a group of Dama Gazelles in a desert area of Mongolia, struggling to survive due to the absence of water in the region where they lived. So they were immediately brought to a nearby wildlife rescue center before they arrived at our Eagle Island Park. Now, the Saiga from the new Eurasia Animal Pack was classified as critically endangered until this week. But thanks to conservation efforts worldwide, they are now classified as near threatened. Such amazing news as well. So their population in the wild mostly decreased due to poaching for meat and horns used in traditional medicine, which became actually worse after trading rhino horns became illegal at some point. And additionally, they experienced population crashes caused by factors such as habitat loss and interrupted migration routes due to human development. And the spread of a lethal zoonotic disease and climate change has made it very challenging for these animals to find food during harsh winters and hotter summers, because hotter summers were also leading to thriving of this bacteria called Pasturella. So this bacteria has made many Saiga sick, causing a significant number of them to die because their immune systems just couldn't effectively fight off the bacteria, which is seriously just super sad to hear. So therefore, we obtained our Saiga group from various breeding programs around the world as part of our commitment to help increase their numbers in the wild. So our male comes from a breeding and research center in Russia, while our females are from breeding programs in Mongolia and China. So without further talking, let's see if they all will enjoy their new habitat that we built for them. Alright, so let me just show the habitat starting here at, something that should be a main entrance of the tropical house, but it definitely is not. It looks horrible still. But this here is leading towards all the new habitats that we created. And as you can tell, I really tried to keep this open, even though we still need to fill up this area right over here. But I'm not entirely sure yet how I want to fill up and decorate this area. So that's why we're not going to fill this area up just yet. But we will at some point, of course. But yeah, this is like a very nice viewing towards all these beautiful animals that we have here. Having a more desert, aka grassland, is vibe here. I just really love the rocks here around the water, and the dirty water just works so perfectly well for this area, if you ask me. So we have some signs here around the habitat. And we have some animal talks here. Talking about the animal talks, let's just see, because who do we have here? We have some staff walking around. So we have Angel here, who is going to take care of the Scimitar Horned Oryx and the Dama Gazelle in this habitat. And she is doing that together with Jennifer here. So these two are responsible for the Scimitar Horned Oryx and the Dama Gazelle. And then Farron, I hope I pronounced that right, is responsible for the animal talk. So she will be educating our guest for the Scimitar Horned Oryx and the Dama Gazelle. So we have one animal talking point here and one animal talking point right over there. And also in her staff room taking a break is Carly, who is responsible for the Saiga habitat, which is right over here, which I'll show in a bit. And right next to Carly, we now have Casey, and Casey is responsible for the educational talk for the Saiga in our zoo. We also hired Riley, who is going to help Amanda and Jessica as a mechanic in our zoo. And here we have Alex, our new caretaker. We hired him together with Oleg, who is also a new caretaker. So welcome everyone to our staff team. And if you would like to work in our zoo as well, then please do make sure to share your first name in the comments down below. And who knows, we might be able to hire you guys as well to work in our Eagle Island Park. So now let's get back to the habitat tour that we were about to do before I was distracted by all the staff that is walking here. Let's start here with Maha, the Scimitar Horned Oryx. This animal, I think this is the first time I'm ever adding the Scimitar Horned Oryx in one of my zoos. I apologize for never doing that. There's just so many animals still that I haven't built a habitat for at this point. But the Scimitar Horned Oryx is definitely one of the most requested animals from day one when we started this zoo. There was a group of people that was like, you just simply must add the Scimitar Horned Oryx to your zoo, especially because they were previously extinct in the wild. But as I said, since this week, they are not extinct anymore, which is just fantastic news, really. So yeah, super excited to welcome these animals in our zoo. We right over here have Sultan, the male Scimitar Horned Oryx. Just look at these guys. I know they're not super popular animals. I do feel like we should be sharing a little bit more love for these animals and spreading some more love for these animals because they're just so freaking gorgeous and absolutely fantastic. We have Jules right over here. The name suggestions you guys gave during all these episodes and on my community wall are just so fantastic. Here we have a group of Dama Gazelle. So this is Mademoiselle Dama Gazelle. As I said, I just love these names, guys. You guys are so good at making these names. And just look how beautiful this animal is looking. Oh, man. I'm super excited that we are adding these animals. Even though they're not like super high on my most favorite list, I think you guys were so right that we just must add these animals in our zoo. And I think they just fit in so nicely in this area. So we have Lemur right over here. And then on this side, we have the beautiful Dusk, the male of the Dama Gazelles. And then on the other side, oh wait, so okay, this is the shelter building. And let me just show that from this side here. I do really like it. I love the natural color and stuff. But when I was building it and duplicating it, I didn't realize that the middle part was not exactly aligned. So I was just duplicating it and I was like, oh yeah, this looks fine. And then the other side, oh yeah, this looks fine. And I didn't realize at all that the middle section, well, this, yeah, well, I can't really fix it. Well, I can fix it, but I just didn't want to. But I like this. I like this. The only thing I'm missing still are like these real life feeders, you know, like those standing feeders. They would fit in so well in habitats like this. I still hope that Frontier will add them at some point. So here we have our male Saiga, and I'm just so fascinated about these incredible animals. Like, I had no idea they existed. They're so beautiful and yet like funny and odd looking. They're like a little bit of the proboscis monkey, which also was like, you look so weird. But these guys have like something really cute over them, which the proboscis monkey does not really have, to be completely honest. Also, you see these guys jump. I'm not really sure why they are jumping right over here, but I had to put down a lot of elephant grass around the whole habitat. I don't know why they're jumping. It's super odd. But there's like elephant grass pretty much everywhere underneath the fence. Oh, of course I'm not able. Oh, there you go. There's elephant grass pretty much everywhere to make sure that they're not going to escape, because this fencing was a little bit too low. So yeah, it is what it is. We have a little pond right over here as well. But, okay, wait, this is a female. So we have 3 females in here and 1 male. And I would love to hear your name suggestions, because these are the only animals that we do not have any names from you guys just yet. So we need name suggestions for the Saiga, and of course also for future offspring of these beautiful animals. It's going to be super excited to welcome some little ones from these funny looking animals in our zoo. Super excited for that in the next... Oh, we already have an animal talk going on here. That's amazing. Also, Tiggy finally got some offspring. I was waiting for her. It was like saying offspring imminent, and I was following her for almost a year and just nothing happened. And I think the same happened with her parents. So I'm just not entirely sure what that is all about. But we do have 2 little boys in here now. We have Dracula running around right over here. And I wonder where your little brother is. Let me see. Okay, we're just gonna find you here with the fencing. Rascal. As I said, guys, your name suggestions you guys are giving, I just love it. I mean, Rascal and Dracula for Tasmanian Devil offspring. Isn't that just perfect? I don't know. It fits so well. Look at his little face here. They're just so freaking cute. So one of these 2, so we have Rascal right over here. Rascal has a size 50, longevity 50, fertility 67, and 100 immunity. And then 183 fertility. The longevity is lower. It's 42 and then 50% in size as well. So longevity, it's probably better because these animals will not get super old. So we might want to go and continue breeding with Rascal. Yes, it doesn't really matter that much, even though I like the Dracula name a lot more still. Even though they're both cute names, don't get me wrong. But yeah, okay, I think Rascal will be the Tasmanian Devil that we will keep. And then we will be able to build like another Tasmanian Devil habitat here because, well, we have a research center here for the Tasmanian Devils. You know, our focus is very much on the Tasmanian Devil here. So having one more habitat to be able to breed with them a lot more and be able to release more into the wild to increase the population in the wild, I think that's just a perfect idea. So yeah, we are going to save some space here for the Tasmanian Devil. I think we are able to add one more animal right over here. We have the African... Oh, wait. African penguins. Oh, yes. We got so much offspring in here, you guys. It's crazy. We have 8 little penguins. Wait, is that seriously? Are you kidding me? Why are you protesting here? Feathers and Kaya. Why are you protesting for these two? What is going on? Space? What is going on? This is not correct. Okay, I need to move you. I don't know how you guys came here. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Well, they're probably not able to walk because of the... Why did you... Okay, I'm going to... Because all the names. There are 8 names in here, you guys. So we have... What? I just checked them. I was checking Shira to see if she was pregnant and she wasn't. And now she's about to have offspring. I'm so confused here. Okay. First things first, we have 8 babies. We have Coral, Zazu, Bubbles, Flipper, Feathers, Kaya, Marina, and Beak in here. Oh my gosh, the names. The names are so good, guys. But look at these little ones. There are so many. Thank goodness. I think it takes around 4 years or so before the parents will get some more offspring, or at least as long as we keep the babies in here. But I think it might be a good idea because there's just so much offspring all at once. So I think it's just a great idea to already share some name suggestions for the African penguins if you do have them. Just look at that. We actually got another baby boy in here. This is little Elmo. Oh, I'm so excited. I still can't get over it. I actually checked before recording if Shira was pregnant and she wasn't. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. I really hope she's able to do that before she becomes too old or whatsoever. And here we have it. We have little Elmo. Oh, I'm so excited to see you. Welcome to our zoo. Oh, this is just amazing. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up right over here, but definitely do let me know your thoughts about this new habitat for the Scimitar Horned Oryx, the Dama Gazelle, and the beautiful Saiga from the Eurasia Animal Pack. And also, of course, don't forget to share your name suggestions for these awesome animals and, of course, their future offspring in the comments down below. And if you have any animal suggestions that we should be adding next to our Eco Island Park, also let me know, because then we are able to make a poll for the community wall again to see what animal we should be adding in the next episode next week. Leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And yeah, I just really do hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys!